The Pentagon, once a bastion of American might and strategic prowess, is now a cauldron of chaos. The past month has witnessed an unprecedented level of turmoil within its hallowed halls, leaving seasoned observers aghast and the nation vulnerable. At the heart of this maelstrom stands Pete Hegseth, the embattled Secretary of Defense, whose tenure has been marred by controversy, incompetence, and a blatant disregard for the sanctity of classified information. The very foundations of American security are crumbling under the weight of Hegseth's misjudgments. Leaks, firings, and a pervasive atmosphere of paranoia have crippled the Department of Defense, leaving it reeling and directionless. This is not mere incompetence, it is a betrayal of the public trust, a dereliction of duty on a scale rarely seen in modern American history. The consequences of this chaos are far-reaching and potentially catastrophic. America's adversaries are watching, emboldened by the disarray and eager to exploit any weakness. The world no longer looks to the United States with the same assurance of strength and resolve. The Pentagon, once a symbol of American exceptionalism, now stands as a stark reminder of its fragility. The time has come to confront this crisis head-on, to hold those responsible accountable, and to restore order to this vital institution before it is too late. Hegseth's reign at the Pentagon began with a purge, a ruthless expulsion of experienced officials deemed insufficiently loyal. Dan Caldwell, Darren Selnick, Colin Carroll, these were not mere names on a personnel roster, they were dedicated public servants, patriots who had devoted their lives to safeguarding the nation. Yet, they were unceremoniously cast aside, victims of Hegseth's insatiable paranoia. The accusations leveled against them, leaking, disloyalty, undermining the Secretary's authority, were as baseless as they were vicious. No evidence was ever presented, no opportunity for defense offered. These were not investigations but character assassinations, designed to silence dissent and consolidate Hegseth's grip on power. The chilling effect of these purges was immediate and profound. A climate of fear and suspicion permeated the Pentagon, stifling dissent and discouraging initiative. Experienced officials, fearing they might be the next target of Hegseth's wrath, retreated into a shell of silence. The very heart of the Pentagon, once a vibrant hub of debate and strategic planning, was transformed into a sterile and stagnant bureaucracy. The lifeblood of any effective organization, the free flow of ideas and constructive criticism, had been choked off, replaced by a toxic brew of fear and sycophancy. The Signalgate scandal, a term now synonymous with reckless disregard for national security, exposed the depths of Hegseth's recklessness. In a stunning display of arrogance and naivete, Hegseth used an unsecured messaging app, Signal, to discuss highly classified military operations, including a planned strike in Yemen. These were not mere musings on military strategy, they were detailed operational plans, shared with an alarmingly casual disregard for their sensitivity. Even more shocking was the revelation that Hegseth had included his wife, a civilian with no security clearance, in these conversations. The potential consequences of this breach are staggering. Sensitive intelligence entrusted to the United States by its allies may have been compromised. The lives of American soldiers operating in harm's way were potentially put at risk. Hegseth's initial attempts to downplay the scandal, to dismiss it as a nothing burger, only served to compound the damage. The subsequent release of his complete chat logs, revealing a pattern of casual disregard for security protocols, confirmed the worst fears of national security experts. The involvement of Hegseth's wife in sensitive national security discussions is not merely a breach of protocol, it is a symptom of a deeper malaise, a blurring of lines between personal loyalty and the national interest. Hegseth's wife, by all accounts, is a private citizen with no experience or expertise in military affairs. Her presence at meetings with foreign military officials, her inclusion in discussions about classified operations, is a testament to Hegseth's staggering lack of judgment. It also raises troubling questions about who or what truly guides his decision-making process. The Pentagon, under Hegseth's watch, has become an extension of his personal fiefdom, a place where the lines between professional responsibility and personal relationships have become dangerously blurred. This erosion of boundaries, this casual disregard for established norms, is deeply corrosive to the integrity of the institution. It also sends a chilling message to the dedicated men and women of the armed forces, that their lives, their sacrifices are expendable in the face of Hegseth's personal whims and familial obligations. In times of uncertainty, paranoia can spread like wildfire. It seeps into the minds of even the most rational individuals, turning allies into adversaries and creating an atmosphere of suspicion. The price of chaos is not just disorder, but the erosion of trust and the breakdown of communication. When fear takes hold, decisions are driven by anxiety rather than logic, leading to a cycle of confusion and mistrust. The true cost is paid in the loss of collaboration and the weakening of bonds that hold communities together. Over time, America's standing on the global stage has faced significant challenges. From shifting alliances to emerging powers, the landscape is constantly evolving. The question remains, can the United States adapt and maintain its influence in an increasingly complex world? When it comes to leadership, accountability is key. We've seen two very different approaches from recent presidents, one focused on transparency and collaboration, while the other emphasized decisiveness and unilateral action. Each approach has its proponents and critics, but the impact on the nation's governance is undeniable. Pete Hegseth, a prominent figure, finds himself at a crossroads. His future is uncertain, with many speculating about his next move. Will he continue to influence public opinion, or will he take a step back from the limelight? Only time will tell. Democracy, as we know it, faces a looming threat. The rise of authoritarianism, misinformation, and political polarization are testing the very foundations of democratic societies. It's a critical moment, one that will determine the future of governance and the preservation of democratic values.